So, good evening, and this is an ongoing practice meditation. So this is time for the meditation, sitting comfortably with the upright position, making sure that there are less distraction and motivating yourself to practice. It's all motivation that is important, and diligently practicing. There is no quick fix. It's a DIY in the meditation. The more you do, the better you become, and understanding will better. Yesterday I got a question about that do we have to have a primary object when we practice meditation? And to that response, primary object is a very important part of the meditation. Although after certain period of practice of a meditation with the primary object, the primary objects become just faded away, but simply a foundation ground. But at first, we have to have the primary object to train our mind. It's like an anchor that we hold our mind. So boat will be floating all around, but is still holding or anchored at the bank of the river, anchoring it. So boat will float along the wind or along the wave. So does the mind. Mind also will change depending on the weather, conditions, environments, situations, and can be conditioned due to the other people's presence, other people's words. We never know. Sometimes unknowingly our mind can change, wavering, fluttering, shivering, floating away. But if we have a primary object, it's like an anchor, then we are still holding on to it. Although we float around, but it won't go long away. There is a limit how long you will go, but you still know that limit, and you will be able to come back. So that's why primary object is like an anchor, where we are anchoring our mind, not to let it float away, but let it float in a vicinity that we have designated, and always able to come back. And there was another question as well, that what is the benefit of a meditation? And why do we have to meditate? And as a Buddhist monk, if someone asks me about this question, without a doubt I have to rely on the Buddha's advice, and which is the Buddha clearly said in the Satipatthana Sutta, the benefit of the meditation, which begins with the purification of beings. In terms of the scientific discoveries or outcomes. Again, there are plenty of research works that you can go and read, particularly neuroscience and neuroplasticity or brain. Those studies have indicated that there are significant benefit of a practice of a meditation for both physically and mentally. So that's why when we practice meditation, I always encourage everyone to choose one object to begin with, to develop our concentration and also understanding of the technique. And that technique, once you have fully understood an ability to be mindful of that in any situation, will be the foundation for any other techniques to work with. And the important is do not mix and pick and mix. So when you are practicing one technique, then solely one with it. Go with that until you have fully, no, not fully, but soundly understood. And as I said earlier today, that it's not a quick fix. We have to do it by ourselves to get the benefit of it. And choosing an object is, again, it's based on which technique you would like to follow and practice with. And mostly I encourage you to rely on the breath and a breath-related object as a primary object, as a base that you can develop or cultivate your mindfulness. And mostly I encourage you to choose either the breath incoming, outgoing at the nose, or the rising, falling of the abdomen. Whichever you feel more empirical, more sensible, and easy to be mindful of without thinking, and using that as a primary object of concentration. And once you have chosen, then remembering that this is the primary object that you are working with. So you're fully concentrating on that, as undivided attention is there, such as the rising, falling of the abdomen. When it is rising, when it is falling, you're aware of that rising and falling. And try not to miss it as it takes place, as it happens. An ability to make a mental note as it is taking place. A mental note and a physical appearance should synchronize, not one or another, which is similar to the practice of a walking meditation. When we are practicing a walking meditation, it should be synchronized with the physical movement as the feet are moving. And mentally making a note should be synchronized along with that too. And this mental note helps to have a clear understanding, an ability to comprehend in its true nature as it arises, as it falls. And again, in this moment, you may be able to notice that there is some form of a effort being applied, or natural process is taking place. And making a mental note of each time when it takes place, also very important. That will alerts your mind and keep your mind awake to the things that comes and arises. So you're simply mindful of that as it takes place. In the practice, once we have chosen, we have to develop our confidence and belief that this is working. It is helping to keep our mind focused, helping our mind to be concentrated. So ability to be mindful as it rises and as it falls, and making a mental note as it rising, making a mental note it is rising, as it falls, making a mental note of falling. So synchronizing. Do not hold or do not generate the process. Let it flow naturally, normally. All what you're doing is to observe and making a mental note. It's like training a horse. You're walking along with the horse. Without trying to maneuver. And do not try hard. Just be mindful as it takes place. So we'll practice loving kindness meditation, so relax yourself. Move your muscles, position, and bring your attention to the body. Aware of sensations in your body and to your hands and to your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion. Loving kindness and compassion to yourself. I am well, I am happy, I am at peace. May I be free from suffering. May I be free from hatred. May I be free from calamities. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one, parents, husband or wife, children, family, friends and relatives. And all other sentient beings, far and wide. Whatever beings there are, may they be well and happy. May they be at peace. May they be free from suffering. May they be free from all the calamities. May they be liberated. And bring that attention to your hands. And to your body. And to your eyes. And as you hear the gong slowly coming out from meditation, let's pay respect to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha.